Do y'all remember the time when we could say some dumb shit on internet? Or just act in a goofy way without fearing any backlash as long as it was funny? Well, today, acting recklessly on internet is way worse than going to Vietnam in the 1960s. And you might think it sounds crazy, but just remember that today, you have people that are ready to cancel you and ruin your life just because of a word you use, an action, attitude, or just for misnaming something. That's how crazy this generation is. And because of that, the other generations, they label us as soft. And that sounds crazy because I'm from the hood.
Stop the cap.
So how can I be soft? But in general, that's how they see us. And I question myself on why our generation is considered as soft and how we became soft. So that's what we're gonna find out together. Have a good one. There are many factors that can be seen as responsible for our generation's state, like not going to war, but I really want to focus on one point, and that point is political correctness. For those who don't know, political correctness is basically avoiding words, actions that might feel insulting, exclude or marginalize a community or ethnicity. Political correctness has always been part of history because as long as there were different groups, you might use certain names to call those people. Political correctness is here to make you understand that there are things that you can't say or do because it will offend the other group. Political correctness is really a tool that is useful to maintain a certain cohesion in a society. But the problem is that it's a tool. See it as a balance that will shift depending on the user. And this is the problem that we're facing in today's society. People on the internet will try to enforce their idea through political correctness because they do not think that your idea is worth listening. They might try to cancel you. They might try to ruin your life just because you thought differently. And we be screaming outside that we live in an era where free speech is at its peak. But the other problem is that people already do anything to be seen as superheroes on the internet or whatever, that they'll extrapolate the smallest details on the most random shit you said just to make you look as the bad guy. And that is so fucking sad. 16 years old on internet will do anything because they think it's how we should think. But in fact, they don't know shit about life. They don't know shit about what they're talking about. But because it seems cool, they're gonna do it. For example, PewDiePie, he had posted a video a few weeks ago. He reacted to some TikToks. And he reacted to a TikTok with a black girl in it. And even though there's nothing outrageous in what he did or said, people try and find the dumbest reason to cancel him. And basically they said that he made fun of her because she's black and deaf, which he didn't know. I'll show you the clip.
And this lady,
No, I'm not listening to this. Look, she has your crazy nails, man.
So anyway, what I did was, I went outside and then...
Now that you've seen the clip, you can see that this generation is full of clowns, because how the fuck do you make it about race when there's literally no mentioning of her skin color or even about the fact that she's deaf? He's reacting to some TikToks. There's a high chance he doesn't know the TikToker, so he's not here to do a background check. He's just here to make some funny content. I don't know why, but it feels like sometimes people, when they're on the internet and they see something, there's like a spirit telling them, oh, you're the chosen one, you need to attack, you need to protect this society, so go on and try to cancel that person. Like, bro, come on, stop acting like you're the main protagonist. You're not, bro. Who asked you to talk on her behalf? She didn't say anything, so why do you have to talk? And people will say, oh, we're open-minded, we are emotionally intelligent and blah blah blah, but they can't comprehend words and they can't comprehend a joke. So this is really an example of why other generations call us soft. The other point I want to talk about is David Chappelle. He gave a show, I think 2 months ago, and we all know David. We all know that dude has some jokes for any community. He'll roast anyone, and he made some jokes on trans people and homeless people. And basically in the crowd there was someone who was bi, and he used to be homeless too, and he couldn't take the joke, so he decided to tackle David on stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for hip-hop history.
And he had a fake gun, but the gun at the end had a knife. You gotta remember, that political correctness can't be applied to any situation. That's a stand-up show. It's a comedic show. There's no point in applying political correctness when you know the person is joking. That's basically his job, to make people laugh. So if you feel like you can't take it, you just don't go. But now you see in cancel culture, you might say something, they don't like it, they'll just like gang on you, and that's it. They'll ruin your life. That's basically something that can ruin the industry. For example, on YouTube, I might not be able to say something or say a word or do like a gesture because someone will say, oh, he's against this community, and I might get strike, and that's it. They'll just ban my channel because they love to create classes to raise awareness on this subject and that subject. They should probably just create a class when they explain the kids that they shouldn't abuse the power they have from Twitter or any kind of social media.
You're a victim.
Here we go.
You can have your own ideas, think in your own way, but you can't think for another community. Obviously, if it's something inappropriate, of course you can speak, but if it's not, please don't. You might be part of the community and you might not even feel offended. If you're a part of the community, you don't feel offended, just say it, because some people, they think they know your entire history. They think they've been in your family since the time of Jesus. So those people are basically tormenting everyone else. Even I'm talking right now, but sometimes I do feel afraid of saying that kind of shit on internet, because I'm like, okay, at any moment, if people don't support my idea or think my idea is stupid, they might try to cancel me. And that means that they can dox me, they can dox my family, so my friends, or I don't know, but they can do so much shit that can ruin my life. And I think that that's not the goal. I'm not blaming political correctness, but I'm saying that from political correctness, you have, for example, cancel culture, and then you have this and that, and it's just like domino effect, another one. It's really sad that we are at this point in this society that you can't even say something. The only things that you can say if it's you're liberal, of course, that's just an example, but you go over there, you say something, you're liberal, okay, you don't get canceled. You might say something a little bit too conservative, you get canceled. You see the point? I mean, let the person talk, hear what the person is saying, listen, communicate, have a discussion, and then if the person is really saying something stupid or something irrational, now you can do something. You can cancel that person. The goal of this video is not to make people hard.
Pause.
But it's really trying to raise awareness in a sense that we must take actions right now. And no matter how good of a person you are, if you say the most random shit on the internet or something without any impact, people will take it out of context and they'll ruin your life. This is why we are considered soft. I don't know if people need to do a military service, but they need to understand that there's way worse in life. In my case, it happened that some people say I'm from Senegal when they're asking about my origins. And honestly, I just say no. I tell them where I'm from, and that's it. I don't overreact. But imagine if I overreacted just because someone got my origins wrong. Like, wait, did you just assume my origins? I mean, come on. If the person is just asking you a question because he wants to know or thinks, or just has no clue of your background, there's no need to overreact. Just tell him, he'll understand, and that's it. Then you move on. But for some people, if you get their background wrong, just one simple thing, that's it, you're lower than a scum. And this kind of mentality just shows how can you overreact for such a simple thing. Just communicate. But yeah, I think that's all for the video, guys. I hope you had a great time, and I'll see you for another one. Poof.